Okay, started back up once, thought it was done, wasn't. Think it's done now. Okay, so I just covered the technologies, and now everything's up and running. You can see here we've got our 6 Docker containers running the 2 node servers, Nginx, Influx, Mongo, and Grafana. Yeah. So to explain the architecture a little, MD2K, we were abstracted away from the actual data quite a bit. We were even initially told to not concern ourselves with the actual data and just set up the architecture. So, agile development. We have simulated MD2K data coming in now, but after that, coming into the node backend server here, the node server feeds that into Influx, which is great at taking large volume traffic, low space. Then, coming from the front end node server, which actually hosts our website, does most of the work. Then, from that, reverse proxy to Nginx for the purpose of authentication, or I think it was just the Google authentication. The node front end also proxies Grafana, and then Grafana talks to InfluxDB for its data, and that is, I believe, the whole of interaction between the Dockers. And if everything's done here, I think we've got our web server set up already. Let me double check. Nothing's moved in a while. Alright, I think we're good to go. Come over here. Alright. The site is very much, looks very much the same as it did in every iteration. There have been some small changes. I don't remember if the map was fully functional in 2, but it's fully functional now. Map. And we changed a few logos at Tim's request. Visually, that's all. But, oh, that's not right. We have changed some things, like there's no more, get out of here. No more admin at localhost. No go. You have to sign up. No signing up as admin at localhost. So we'll do that one. Also, added some password testing, so no cheap passwords. Nope. Gotta give it a good password. Okay, so now that we've created an account, we'll be able to log into Grafana. And this is where the meat of the project is. Well, the functionality that was requested. Now here I'll point out that there's one thing I didn't cover in the setup, and that is turning on our Python script that you will see at the final demo. Well, they have seen in many demos that creates the dummy data, because as we've told you, Tim was very secretive with it. We had to pass around a flash drive so that we all would have it, and it's actually just some of his data that we're playing through on a loop. So I didn't cover running up the Python script, because the data files you'll need for the Python script to work, we can't give them to you. We can't push them to GitHub, too large anyway. But it is here in Grafana and here's a default dashboard that's put in. Well, this looks so good with the Python script running too. I'll get it run up. Well, I actually point out too that this was the only point where Windows became a problem, and another point to Docker. If you put everything in Dockers, you'll never know you were on Windows. It was when a Python script came out by itself to run on the host machine to feed this data in, that all of a sudden how Windows handled null values and tables broke everything, and I couldn't actually fix it. Then my next idea was to actually Dockerize the Python script, which I didn't get finished. Well, actually, I probably did. It's so easy to set up. I just never actually got to test it to make sure it worked. I'll also say that Robert and Berkeley were instrumental with the server authentication and then Grafana, respectively. Oh, Grafana and the pre-processor data simulator.